Welcome back to Weekend Smile, guys. Now, Kareem Boyatings with us is a podcaster, YouTuber, event developer, influencer, and the new radio sensation. What is his driving force? Look here, enough things that you know. So let's have a chat with Kareem. Hi, Kareem. Welcome to Weekend Smile.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing, Mr. Boyatings?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Kareem, I never start call you beer things.
Beer things.
Beer things, yeah, go with.
No, Kareem.
Yeah, I've seen the hashtags. I've seen the
tweets. Yes.
But I want to hear from you. Why the name Boyatings?
To be honest with you, it's something that I've been saying for years, and it's just like a term of like upliftment or like a confident booster. So I would always say to my friends, if them look good, and I say, boy, yeah, things, Or, if there's like an accomplishment or something, I would say, no, man, yeah, things, man, you go on with yourself. So it's sort of just like you have substance, you have a purpose, you look good, you look nice. You understand?
Okay.
So I've been saying it for years, and just stick with me.
So similarly to how you'd say, yeah, man, that shot, or it have a buzz, or it have one with itself.
Exactly.
That's what you'd be like, yeah, man, Boyatings. Okay, cool.
Boyatings.
So you...
Our girl can be cookies too.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Girl of things, Boyatings, all of
things. All of things, beer things. So you have recently, pivoted into this world of radio as a radio personality now. What is your inspiration behind that? Why did you decide to take that route?
To be honest with you, all of this just started just out of nowhere. I've always been an event producer, so that's what most persons would know me as. And when this whole COVID lockdown started, I was bored just like anybody else, and we were on 3 p.m. lockdowns, and I used to just go on Instagram and just go on live, just randomly, and people would just requesting more and more and more. And one in particular, I structured it more, together. And I can recall there were a lot of people on it, and it just went viral. And I started a podcast.
Okay.
But when I started the podcast, I said to myself that my dream from the podcast would to go into radio. Literally 2 months after, I got a radio show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, trust me.
My question, how do you decide what topics to talk about? Because from what I've seen are some of the hottest topics.
They're extremely controversial. I mean, they will have persons arguing. Like, me feel like me and Extra with all malice.
If we get too deep into it, how you decide which topics you're going to do?
To be honest with you, when I decided that I was going to do the podcasting thing, I knew that it was going to be on YouTube as well. I didn't want to do what the generic YouTuber would do. Nothing is wrong with that. But I wanted to talk about things where I believe that society deems them as taboo topics, and things that you would maybe talk behind closed doors. But some things are very sexualized. But we also speak about mental health and have topics on sexual abuse and stuff like that. It's just things that our generation, I feel like our generation, don't really have that platform to listen and to interact with.
Okay.
So I decided that, hey, these are the topics that I'm going to talk about. Anything that is just too taboo to maybe speak in front of a church or something, I want to talk about it.
Well, that's quite interesting. And you know that with topics that are actually considered to be taboo, a lot of criticism tends to come with it as well. How do you manage that? How do you manage what persons actually think about you on your show?
To be honest, I've been doing this for many years. As I've said, I started out as an event producer.
Okay.
So I've been in the limelight for many, many years, and I've been doing this. So I can recall many times when the blogs and all sorts of different local blogs would post me and my personal life and, the rumors and the fable tales and stuff like that. I've just gotten a thick skin through that.
Okay.
And I also went to an all-boys school. I went to the Jamaica college. So come on. That trained me for all of this. But for persons within our society who would have problems with the topics, I think that they're very hypocritical. And it's people who normally look down on, people outside of their socio-economic background.
Yeah.
And that is what I'm trying to break those barriers, to connect both sides of the spectrum together, basically.
Yeah, Kareem, a young man may be watching, or a young lady may be watching you this morning.
Yeah.
word of advice or words of advice would you give to them? I know you spoke about developing a thick skin, as you have to do when you work in certain areas, but what can you say to them listening and watching you right now that will help them along their journey?
To be honest with you, stay true to yourself. That's number one. And, pick your lane and stick with your lane.
Okay.
And pick what it is that you believe in. No matter what the naysayers might say, I always say, if I do...
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened just now.
That's
Hello?
okay.
It's technology.
Yeah, we can hear
You know it goes. It's technology.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
continue, Kareem.
Yes, I always say, no matter what it is that I am doing, if there are 5 negative comments and there's 1 positive one, I'm sticking to that positive because at least I know that I'm impacting someone's life positively. So just stay in your lane, don't listen to the naysayers, and have faith. Faith is very important. I'm very spiritual and I pray and all of that.
Right.
Just have faith and trust me, just stick to your dreams.
I like that. I like that.
Kareem, what's your ultimate dream then? You know, what's your ultimate goal? With everything that you're doing.
Initially, when I started podcasting, my ultimate goal would be to be on the radio.
Okay.
I didn't expect to have a radio show so quickly in my journey. So now I would love to have a TV show. That is where I'm going into. So hopefully, if anyone is listening and wants to give a young youth a try, I'm
Perfect
here.
plug.
Oh yeah, perfect. And I like that you said that, because dreams evolve.
Yeah.
Like you have a dream now, and then you say it and you put it out in the universe, and it happens 2 months after. And other times people have their dreams and they say it, and it doesn't happen until 2 years after.
Yeah.
Dreams happen at different times, you know. So the more we continue to dream and aspire, you know, we have to be willing and open to having these dreams come true.
Definitely. And there's nothing wrong with changing your dreams as well, because as I've said, I started doing events, and my events are very, very popular, very successful, and I didn't have... If it wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't know that I had this in me. Okay. I wouldn't know that I would have had a podcast or a radio show if it wasn't for COVID. And COVID is just here for a couple of months now. And, you know, so your dreams can change. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you changing whatever it is that you set out yourself to do. Yeah. So don't let society tell you, if you want to become a doctor, you have to become a doctor. If it is that you want to change that, you can go ahead and do so. Nothing is wrong with that in at all.
Well, Kareem, I love that a while ago, because you know, as a young man, and a lot of young men I know, we struggle with that, because, and young women as well, but as men we feel a lot more pressure. You understand? So it's like when we have a dream and we change the dream, people are going to say, but I thought you didn't want to become, how come you do this? It's okay to change the dream. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, the dream to be more. Kareem, keep inspiring, and thank you so much for joining us on Weekend Smile.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
I'll definitely be tuning into the podcast that will air tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It should have
that
more
one was a very
vibes.
interesting one, trust me.
All right, my friend.
That one was about dreams as well.
All right, Fervous Opus and Campus.
Yes, sir.
All right, Weekend Smile. We'll be right back.
All right.